Welcome back to another Spider-Man Lotus video. No rolling goddamn intros today, boys and girls. We're getting straight into the nitty-gritty with this one. What you're watching on screen is someone basically pointing out to the lady who plays MJ, watch out, you've got two groomer enablers, alright? Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I did a video the other day. Basically, Warden Wayne, Gavin, and a bunch of others are protecting the Green Goblin actor, who is a groomer, groomed one of his own students. People who don't believe that, by the way, do what you want. I couldn't care less. You guys are kind of weird. There's been a lot of people as well that have been defending the actions, telling me, just let them live their lives. If you're a nonce, get help, yeah? But I'm not going to protect you, just like I'm not going to protect anyone else involved in this movie. So MJ blocking some messages about that, despite everything that come out the other day about Gavin basically roasting MJ and talking bare trash behind her back. Obviously, they're mates. They were at the premiere and stuff like that, but there is the block right there on Twitter as well by the same individual who warned her on Instagram. They went to Disneyland the next day with your 100k basically. And then here's another thing. So Instagram user, this is Gavin, saying the desire to be better than Brandon Mello, to exceed High Top's influence, to exceed Brown Table's influence, all of that seriously drove me forward, and I don't like admitting it because it's kind of toxic, but it's true. And I said that, you know, this in the review, at least I think I did, at least I remember doing that if you make something based on spite to prove that you're better than other people, you've already done it for the wrong reasons, and it's already going to be a bad movie. Spider-Man Lotus was a bad movie, but we're putting putting a line in the sand on that. That isn't the most important thing. Today is like serious. That's why I've not done a roll out goddamn intro thing. This is why I'm talking about it today. So, Bill Anderson, all right, is a guy. Now, before you guys say, what does this guy know about any Lotus stuff? Someone said this. So someone said, why exactly should I believe anything you say? What is your involvement with Lotus aside from not liking it? How do I know you aren't doctoring screenshots and making stuff up like that Syndrome wannabe from the other year? Bill Anderson said, because my source was literally friends with Gavin for years and was there in person during production. Stop slobbering over the movie for 1 second. That's going to go to a lot of the comments I'm probably going to get on this video. So basically, this one is nuts. This one is straight up pedophilia. Okay, so Warden Wayne has said, every time I turned on Titans, Raven's little ass was just taunting me. Now, if you don't know Titans, it was well, at least in the UK anyway, I don't know if it was the same for everywhere else. It was on Netflix. Now, Raven is 13 years old in this show, as in the actor is 13 years old. Now, Warden might not have known that. Alright, but that is still hella weird, especially after we know that they're protecting paedophilic groomers behind the scenes. But we're not even done, ladies and gentlemen, alright? Because here's what Bill Anderson said regarding what happened to an anonymous cast member during the production of Spider-Man Lotus. This was sent to me by the same source as the screenshot from yesterday, as in the one that I just showed you about Raven. This is going to get gross. Unfortunately, you kind of have to know the little bit of context. So it is anonymous, but it's really obvious and people have been talking about it. It's unfortunately the guy who's played Harry Osborn in Spider-Man Lotus, the actual best actor in the entire movie. But unfortunately, obviously he removed himself very far from Spider-Man Lotus, and now we know the reason why. So we go into this. Yeah, Gavin and Warden forcing alcohol on him to keep him docile on/off set, which ultimately led to Harry actor developing an alcohol abuse problem and then disappearing off all social platforms. He made a burner account on Instagram, and I was able to stay in contact with him until about February 2022. Then he vanished from that as well. Blank graduated in 2020, so in 2021 when they were filming he would have been 19, which in America means that that was illegal underage drinking, as well as forcing, you know, a 19-year-old to consume alcohol. That is mental. And then another thing, those came as a result of drugs/alcohol being forced on him during Lotus. That is disgusting. All right. Now, listen, I've had my problems with alcohol so much as recently. I've even made that very public on my Twitter account. If you want to follow it, it's @SlightStardust. This is brutal, man. This is absolutely brutal. I'm actually quite devastated. We move on though. Someone said, this has to be fake. This is insane, which I'm assuming a lot of comments in this video are going to say. Bill said, it's real and so is everything else I and others have posted up to this point. The sources were individuals who were close to the production or around Gavin and Warden in some way. It seems like Gavin and Warden are really hand in hand, just the worst human beings in the entire community of Spider-Man, maybe as a whole, maybe as I've ever heard of on the goddamn internet, because it's so slimeball stuff. Man. And then here's another one. More of an actor from Spider-Man Lotus, where he was manipulated by Gavin to underage drink and smoke as well. Gavin, as well as the money race from Indiegogo, made him go through with the tough choice. Apparently, Blank was sort of forced onto the project after going through some bad personal stuff and was trying to get out of it. But the way the budget skyrocketed forced him into it, and Gavin didn't try to sympathise with him. Now, I can understand that, right? Because imagine this fan film that you've been sort of pushed onto has grown exponentially, like huge amounts, right, to the point where even John Watts and Andrew Garfield are starting to take notice of the film. That is a huge bargaining chip that Gavin has immediately to manipulate these budding actors into sticking with this movie despite all the grossness, right? And then there's another just image of MJ blocking, because I have this in like a little screenshot slideshow thing. So there you go, man. Terrible stuff, terrible things to even hear about. It's disgusting, makes me cringe, and to be honest with you, I think Gavin and Warden need to be locked up straight up, right? There isn't any of this, what if these are real? These guys, in my opinion, do not deserve benefit of the doubt to begin with. Alright, because there is obviously a reason why the Harry actor wasn't at the premiere. There's obviously a reason why he's gone off social media and avoided Spider-Man Lotus like the plague. There's obviously a reason for them to try and pretend they don't care about all the backlash by just posting that they've gone to Disneyland the very next day. I think people need to stop slobbering, and I think we just need to understand that these are terrible people. Alright, and I know a lot of people saying, well, this is very coincidental because the movie has just come out. Well, yeah, okay, maybe that is something. Maybe it would be nice to learn about this information sooner. But when one person comes out with something, it causes a chain reaction because people have the confidence to finally speak up about it. And we don't want people to forget that Spider-Man Lotus and, the crew that are, involved in this stuff are bad people just because some people might like Spider-Man Lotus. Do you see what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this is awful. I said I wasn't going to do any more Lotus stuff. Well, I lied. I'm covering this into the bitter end because I'm not going to do a review of the movie and then just ignore the nonsense, all right? I love this character, Spider-Man, and I want to do the best I can to make sure that scumbags, and all that just stay away, to be honest. Even if people watch this video, they're like, yeah, no one's going to care. We're like, all right, weirdo. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I'll see you guys in a bit.